Hi everybody, it's Sonia with Sonia K Creations. Come on in, we're gonna get started. We're gonna be doing some a tin can project, just one tonight. I have a couple more that I'm planning on doing, hopefully, maybe, probably have to be Saturday, maybe. I'm watching my granddaughter part of the weekend, so we'll see. So come on in, let me know that you're watching. If you're watching on the replay, you can skip all this, but we're gonna get started. Hi Tammy, you're always the first one. Pretty much. Yeah, make sure you guys sprinkle. Yeah, we're gonna be using some tin cans again. I found one tin can I was looking for, but I'm not using that tonight. We're just using small tin cans again tonight. So, hope you guys are having a good day. It's pretty nice here, but not hot, so I have a sweatshirt on because our house is cold. So we're gonna start. Just go ahead and start. You can catch up. So we're going to be using you can use any kind of wood round you have. This one I found at Hobby Lobby. To get it on sale, you can get it for like around $3. It was just unfinished and I stained it. And my husband put a screw, I asked him to put a screw right in the middle. So I found the middle and he just put it in there for me. So we went ahead and left it there. But what we're going to do, I was going to leave it stained, but then I just changed my mind and decided to paint it. So, hi Jody and Ann. So we're gonna just get started. This is the celery color. So, get a quick coat on here. What have you guys been up to today? Alex, you'll probably hear him today because he's been a little loud. He went swimming today. I had to go I went to the dentist like at 8 o'clock this morning. I have to go again tomorrow too. I stained the bottom, but I think I'm just gonna leave the bottom, just stained and not painted. There's no sense of painting it. It still looks okay under there. I'm going to try to keep it down here when I paint so that I don't get paint on the bottom. Hi Rita. So this is going to be kind of a useful project, I guess you could say. I kind of went back and forth about how I was going to do it exactly because I had a lot of different ideas of how I wanted to make it, but I decided to go with what I'm doing. Okay. There's one good coat, but it'll probably need one more. And then we're going to be using 3 of these cans. We had taco soup last night. Well, we had it tonight too. We had leftovers, but so these are from like kidney beans or something like that. Kidney beans, pinto beans. So I just took the tag off and got the glue off with like goof off kind of thing. We're going to put a coat on this. I already did 2 of them we have used 3 of these. I already did 2 already. I'm going to try not to get it on the inside so that they're food safe still. Yeah, if it came on a little bit later than I've said, I have one more video I think I'm going to do of tin can things. Found one of the tin cans I'm looking for. I still need one more. Okay, so there's that. I'll put another coat on, but I'll let that dry. Oh, I have one more thing. And also you could use a plunger from Dollar Tree, the handle. I just had some dowels that my husband cut down for me, and I'm going to paint it the same color. I just decided to go everything the same color You could do it some stained, some painted, whatever. It'd look good either way, but I decided to go this way. So we'll dry all 3 of these things and then put one more coat on each of them. Glad you're here, Jerry. Hi, Sandy and Lynn. All right, let's dry this. Oops, I missed a whole spot on this side. Let me get that. Oh, did I miss another side? Oh, yep. Thanks, Rita. I'm gonna have to put another coat anyway, but still, you know, I have to do 3 times. Almost there. Second coat we can let it dry on its own. Okay. Much better on the second coat. You guys think you know what we're making? I always liked you to guess. I still got some on the bottom because I moved it around too much, but that's all right. I can sand it off later. It's a little bit, not too bad. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's do this one. Do I live in cherry country? Yeah. Yep, we have lots of cherries over here. It's actually little cherry orchard that we go by whenever we go anywhere. At least I'm pretty sure it's cherries. We have apples. I just drove by a whole bunch of apples orchards this morning on my way in back from, or way to and back from my dentist appointment. We have a lot of cherries, apples, pears. I know they have peaches in this state, but I'm not sure if we have them around here. I've never heard of peaches in Yakima. But where I used to live, work on in the summer I'd work at a fruit stand, and they had cherry or a peach orchard, among other things, but they were so good. We got to eat peaches as many as we wanted, fresh off the tree. I love peaches. Okay. Oh, I got to do this. Is this the... Oh, yeah. Okay. We're going to distress this a little bit anyway, so it shouldn't have to be perfect, but I always paint it all anyway. Oops, too much paint. And I sanded up like inside so they didn't have any sharp edges or anything. They were pretty okay, just like where the last part of the lid came off, it would be a little sharp. Okay, so that's good. All right, so we're going to put these off to the side while we work on the other two. You know, yeah, I haven't seen anybody picking yet, but that doesn't mean they're not doing it. I will be at our summer home near Bumping Lake for a couple weeks. I hope to meet you and Alex. I'll send you a message. Yes, go ahead. We'll probably be here. Okay, so I have 2 of them already done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sanding block and I'm just going to distress it just because it has that really pretty, you know, that ribbed detail. I'm not going to make these ones rusty like I did the last one. It would be cute that way too, but I decided to just do it this way on these ones. Not super distressed, but a little bit. Okay, so you can kind of see, you can see some of that silver come back. You love doing washing it out. It's nice. All right, so then I'm going to use some of that same, oh, I forgot the name of it. I've been into the transfers lately, so this one, the Iron Orchid Designs Saint Germain transfer book. So I'm going to use some of those. We used them on I just sent it in the mail today. That Welcome Center one. So we're going to use some of those. So I picked little pieces that I wanted to use. We're going to use that. And these have been, you know, these were painted a while ago, so they're good. So I'm just going to put it on the side that I find is the best. And I'm putting the seam in the back. And I'm going to put it, let's see. I want to do it like this. I think I want to do it like this. So you just take the back off, this part off, and then you just start rubbing. And this has those, you know, those ridges, so you got to make sure you get down in there. I had a chalk couture transfer that I really wanted to put on this design, but I didn't think it would work very good in these little ridges. I'd probably make a mess of it, so I decided to do this. You could do whatever. Or nothing. You can make it really plain. I'm going to make this to use this summer. Just lift it up, and then if there's any part like right here that's not stuck down, just lay it back down. pretty. And then just take this and kind of, well, you're supposed to use this to rub it down. I find it's easier just to use my fingers. And we are going to wax these ones, I think, to make it look a little older. So just doing that, you could just make it a cute little vase or something. But that's not what we're going to do with ours. We're going to do this other one. I didn't show you that I did, to make this more level on the bottom because it has a little lip around it, I E6000, use E6000 and hot glue. Just put little thin strips of, yep, Rita, you're right. That's exactly what it's going to be. She said, is this like a thing to hold silverware and paper towels on a picnic table? That's my guess. It's not going to be able to hold picnic tables, paper towels. If you had a bigger round, then you could do that, but it is going to be, but I'm going to show you how you can use it for different things too. But anyway, I made it so it's level. I have a level piece. All right, so then, let's see. I'll decide what one I want to put next to it. All right, I'm just going to use this little piece, and I might add a yellow flower to it as well. I'm not sure. Where's the back? All right, bye. My husband's leaving, so the door's open now, so you'll be hearing Alex because he's loud. This one's sticking down a lot faster. I love those trenches. I have a few of the iodine collections. They work real well on the ridges. Yeah, they definitely do. And I have this little yellow flower that you could, you can just add, you can put things on top of each other. So I kind of wanted some yellow on this one. So I might cut off the leaves of this one and just add the flower. It's nice about these, you can kind of add them on top of each other. So I just wanted a yellow flower to tie it into the rest of them. Because the rest of them have yellow flowers, but I couldn't find like 3 things that were exactly perfect. So I'm just going to put this like maybe over here because it looks like one of the, I cut it out of a different one, so it like, I cut off a different flower, so this is where the stem ended, so I'll just put this yellow flower on here. Yeah, that looks good with it. I'll just press that down. While that's still drying, I'm going to take some of, like we did with the other one, my brush has some brown wax on it already. Darn it, I told myself, don't forget to bring some paper towel. Let me grab some real quick. So I'm going to see how much dark wax is on here to, when I do this, just use my clear wax with dark wax that's on my brush. And this will just like, yeah, that's good. If you're going to use this where it's touched a lot, like this is going to be probably, you want to like you want to seal it in the transfer, otherwise it might get scratched up. And I wanted a little dark wax too, so this has a little dark wax in it. So we'll just get this on here, do the other one, let them sit for a minute, and then I can buff it out. Doesn't look that good right this second, but because these are, you know, canned vegetable cans, they're definitely food safe, so you can put stuff in like that. Okay, there's that one. He probably does want to go out, go swing. He's swinging a lot today though, but my husband always locks the door before he leaves if I'm going live, because, and puts the alarm on, because then I'll know if he gets out. Okay. Let's go back to these. So those two are done, except for we got to buff them and, you know, get some of that extra wax off of there. That's what I got the paper towels for. So we'll go back to this. Looks like I got stuff all over it. I'm going to do this pan last because I need to make sure it's the driest, because I'm going to put a transfer on it as well, and I don't want it to... You can have wet paint when you use those transfers. So I'll get it pretty dry, let that sit while we work on other stuff. That's pretty dry. Get this one dry. I'm sure the stick is probably pretty much dry. I wanted to stress this one quite a bit, but I don't know how good my sanding block's going to work. It's like the best one I have though. Tomorrow I'm going to take Carter Ray for a few hours, and we're going to go out to lunch and go shopping, maybe just at Walmart, get her pick an outfit or toy or something. And then her mom said, yeah, you could do that, but I was supposed to get she was supposed to get a haircut, because she's going to be a flower girl over the weekend. I'm watching Janie while they go to Spokane for a wedding. Christian's best friend's, oh no, one of her best friend's wedding. And so if Carter's in the wedding, she needs a haircut, so I'm going to take her. I said I could take her, it's just get a bang trim, so I'm going to take her to do that. So that's on my agenda tomorrow, well, after the dentist appointment. So I'm just like bringing some of that wood back, you know the routine. That's why I stained it underneath, because it just looks, you can notice it a lot more when it's a darker color underneath instead of that light wood color. Because it was already stained on the side, but you know, it's like that color. And I didn't want that, you don't really see that very good, so. And this has a lot of pretty detail on the edges. That's why I didn't have a round, so I actually went to Hobby Lobby last night. Now, I paid regular price for this, which was more than I want to pay, but it's the one I wanted. They had some more flat ones, but I wanted this one. But if you got this on sale, it would only be like either 3 or 3 something, depending on if it was 40 or 50% off. So, but I paid $5.99. But nothing else in the project I had to buy. I had everything else. And the cans are pretty much garbage, so. Alright, it looks pretty good. I'm going to fix this spot I don't really like on the top. And right there, I messed it up. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's dry that a little bit. And then we're going to add some wax to that too. If you don't like it distressed, you just leave it and it still looks pretty. I'm only sanding this because you can kind of see where I repainted. Okay. All right, so then let's sand this a little bit. My husband also put a nail in the top and bottom of this for me. Okay, that looks good. All right, so let's take some more of that wax and make sure this is dusted on. Okay. This doesn't really have to be sealed, but I just want it to kind of have that aged look like the rest of it's going to have. Not super, I'm not adding any brown wax, it's just what's in my brush, so it's not going to be super, you know, brown, but it just adding that makes it look so much older looking. And if you don't like that, like I said, just don't do it. It would look just as pretty, especially if that's what you like. Okay, so we're going to buff that too. Well, I didn't get very good on the sides. Let me get a little more. It gets darker on the sides because it's a little bit rougher, even though I did sand it a little bit. All right, so how do I get the reel from yesterday so I can see her? Just go to my Sonic K Creations and it's just a few posts down. You don't have to do anything to get it. It should be there. I mean, I know it's there because I saw it right before I went live. All right, so this I'm going to sand. Well, let's wait on that. Let's go back to these and just kind of buff them off before they get too dry. If you buff it off right away, then it might not get, it'll just take it all off, but if you wait a long time, it's harder to buff it, but it doesn't make a total big difference, but it does make a difference. If I don't like a spot, I just kind of go over it with the, they look really pretty actually. Except that that's just drying where I just put the paint on. And buff this one. There's that one. All right, then, oh yeah, we didn't put any wax on this, I forgot. Alex got quiet all of a sudden, but I can't hear him in there though. All right, now let's put the, we'll go ahead and put the piece of paint stick on the bottom just to make that level like the other one. So I'm just going to add a little bit of, I found my E6000. That got a little dry. It was leaking out. Put a little E6000 on here so it sticks good. Because this will be handled more than some things I make. And make sure this is, and give it one more dry, especially on the side that I'm gonna put the transfer, so like this side. Oh, I forgot I haven't sanded it either. Some people say you should seal it before you put the transfers on. I found if it's really dry, you don't really need to, but that's up to you. But you definitely need to make sure it's dry. At the back. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to use this. I think I'm going to use this one. Let me see if that looks good with them. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but I'm going to use that one. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Barb. All right, so we're going to put this on here and hope that I got it dry enough. Some people say you should wait overnight too, but I never do that. Looks like it's sticking fine. They go on the metal very easily. Glass. Like this one I barely had to do much. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty. There's that one. And then I'll just go ahead and put the wax on that one. If you didn't want wax, you could use just Mod Podge or whatever you want to seal it with. Or just don't seal it, but you just take the chance if it's touched a lot to get messed up. Or if you're going to store it away or something. Okay, we'll let that sit for just a minute while we rub this one off. It'll definitely stay better on the wood. I mean, it doesn't come off as easy, the whatever you call this, the wax, but it's good. I'm just grabbing some of the wax on its own without the brown wax in it so I can get a little of this off. It got a little darker than the rest of it. Kind of acts like an eraser. And I can just go over it a little bit with this if I don't. I think it's a little too dark, but I think it looks good. Transfers, I get them at a store here in town, but they're Iron Orchid designs, so you can look up online where you can find them in your area, or online. All right, let's wipe off this one. Okay, so then I wanted to put some kind of knob or something, and I went looking in my stash and I found this perfect, I don't know what it came off of, but it's really cute. It has the perfect gold, but I found stuff like this at Hobby Lobby. So, and I only saw black, but if you wanted gold, you can always rub and buff or use gilding wax or paint it or whatever. This isn't super tight, so I'm going to add a little bit of, I think maybe wood glue. I think I found this other wood glue, so I'm just going to put a little bit in the hole. It doesn't want to tighten too much, but it's perfect. And then we're going to put that right on here. Well, I'm going to put some wood glue there too. Try not to put too much because it has this screw, and I also don't want it dripping everywhere. Or squeezing out, I mean, seeping out. This one I think would be. My husband said I was probably going to have to take a screwdriver in there to hold it, to get it tight, but I don't think I have a screwdriver in here, so I can always do that later. That's no big deal. Because it's not super tight, but it's still fine. So that's what we have so far. Now we're going to take these, and you could drill these, put holes through the bottom to, and I might have my husband do that later, but I don't know. Oh shoot, I haven't wiped this off. I'm like, oh, it's still wet. I forgot I put wax on it. I was thinking it was the paint. I was like, what? Paint's dry, but. But I'm just going to put, I think I'm just gluing them on the bottom. And then if I want him to put a screw through later, I can. But I'm going to kind of decide how I want these to look. They're going to be something like that. I hope I got the circle in the middle. Let's see. I could have put more transfers on them maybe, but I think it'll still be cute. I feel like I don't know if it's quite centered, but I'm going to kind of make lines where I want it to be so that I can make sure I get it back in the same spot. I'm just going to take one off at a time, and I'm going to add some, I think I'm going to use wood glue because I'm using wood against wood because I'm gluing this thing. Where's my little thing? So I just put that on there like that. This is going to be so pretty on your table. All right, let's do this one. These had a more of a flat bottom. I wouldn't have had to put this wood, but I just wanted to make sure that they were level. Oops, oh shoot. It's going to dry before I get on there. I put that in the wrong. That's okay. All right, and then this one. Turn it like that. Okay. They seem pretty secure. How cute is that? Yep, utensil caddy. So then that's pretty much it to make it, but I was just going to show you, like, it could be a utensil caddy, it could be, I mean, it could, my stuff is all kind of ugly and dirty, but you could use it in your craft room for, you know, stuff. All your scissors and things. That's kind of messy, but, you know, you could do that. You could use it for, you could make it like a partial thing, or a partial utensil caddy, and then use it for, like, you know, greenery. Just a pretty centerpiece, really. You could put all kinds of flowers in there. I didn't get very many of those, but you could just make it like a cute little centerpiece with flowers. But what I made it for was the utensil caddy. So I have, these are actually fake. They're from my daughter's baby shower, but I just think they look really pretty in here. So I grabbed some. Probably just keep them in here and have it for our next get together. This looks prettier, I think, once you put the, I wish I had some gold silverware, because then it would match that. Look how cute that is. Yep, you definitely could use it on your work table for paintbrushes, just like I was. But I think I'm going to use it for this, but I might make another one. I have this, I don't know if I ever showed you, I have this for mine. It's cram-packed. It's like a little Lazy Susan one. Ugh, it's heavy. So that is so cute. What do you guys think? Do you like it? I think it's adorable. I'm going to get it close to you guys. I get paint all over the bottom, kind of. But you could have put more flowers, but I just put one on each outside of it. So that's our second tin can project of the week. And I love it. I knew it would be cute. I kind of wanted to make it black and white for my kitchen. I thought, this would still kind of go in my kitchen. Not right now because I have lemons, but if I would have had lemon stuff transfers, I might have done that. But I decided to go with this because I like it. And then, but I'll show you what we made the other day. I took the stuff out for this so that I could show it to you guys. But we made this one out of a tin can. It has little feet on it. Just a little flower pot. That's really cute. Those are some other, I think the something pots transfer. These are made little canisters. Yeah, you could definitely, or some of these you could put green around the bottom of it. Yeah, you definitely could. Or you could just have like all the silverware in two of them and then have like a little flower arrangement in the other one. That would be really cute. I don't really have any cute florals that would match this, but like say you take probably the knives out, or put them all together and then put like some flowers in one. That would be really cute. And they should be waterproof, or, you know, from leaking because they're canned goods. How cute that is. I just love this little part. So cute. And like I said, if you wanted to make a really big one, you could have places for like more cans, and you could have a place that's big enough in the middle to put paper towels. That would be a good idea. And then we also made this out of a tuna can. This is just purely decorative. I added a little piece of greenery after the live, so. But those are what we made so far, and I have 2 more ideas. I'm for sure going to do one more live, hopefully this week, with tin cans, and hopefully it'll have 2 tin cans if I can find the can I'm looking for. So I love it. So cute. All right, you guys have a great night, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.